It is always an honor when we speak to, in my opinion, one of the greatest ever. He returns finally after a 4-year hiatus on November 4th in the main event of UFC 217 at Madison Square Garden. We've been talking about it for so long, for over a year now. We're finally less than 2 weeks away. Great to have George Rush St-Pierre on the phone right now. George, how are you?
I'm good, and you, Ariel? Do you hear me good?
I hear you perfect. Thank you.
Okay, good, perfect. I had like a funny headset, I never used it before, so I wanted to see if everything was fine. I'm in the restaurant, so good, perfect.
You're the man, George. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's always great to talk to you. So we're about to complete your first training camp in 4 years. What's it been like? Has it been tougher than you expected, easier than you expected? How would you compare this one to the last one 4 years ago?
It's more fun. It's more fun. And I know I have more experience now. The infrastructure of my life and training is much better than it was before. So, I train really hard, but I do more specific to it's more specific to what I need and there's a lot less distraction, so it's a lot better.
So is it safe to say that you're enjoying the process more than you were as you were preparing to fight Johnny Hendricks?
100%. It's a lot more fun. Mentally, I'm in a much better place. And there's no other place in the world that I wish to be never before than in the octagon facing Michael Bisping.
Could I ask you, how much do you weigh right now, George?
I'm about between 195, 200 pounds.
Okay. And when you get to New York next week, how much do you expect to weigh? Like, how much weight do you think you'll have to cut?
About the same.
Okay.
About the same, 195 to 200. Then I will make a very easy weight cut.
Now that you've been face-to-face with Michael a few times, do you feel like he's that much bigger than you?
Not that much. He's going to be bigger, but he's not like a huge height difference. Plus, you need to cut down to 185, and he's going to be bigger, but I don't think it's going to make a difference in that height.
We've seen you guys face off a few times, and a few times it's been a little bit out of character for you. You've put your hands on him, pushed him away. We saw you guys backstage going back and forth. Has he gone under your skin? Are you annoyed now? Do you feel like you've kind of, you've let yourself go a little bit in the sense that you got a little too worked up in these exchanges?
No, I put my hand on him, push him away because he put his before. I don't want him to touch me. He can say whatever he wants, but when it gets physical, get out of it. I'm pushing. If he's playing if he's touching me, I'm pushing him back. I'm not you know what I mean? I'm not gonna let myself laugh at you. It's okay. You can talk as much as you want, but when you touch the person, you disrespect him. I push him back because I want to keep my distance. I don't want to hit him before the fight, but I don't want him to touch me and make fun of me like this. When it's physical, it's another thing. You can speak as much as you want, say whatever you want, but don't touch me. So that's why I push him, because he touched me. He touched me first. So if he would not have touched me, I would not have done anything.
Throughout this entire process, George, do you feel like he's crossed the line with anything that he's said about you? He continues to say that you've used steroids. He's called you a fraud. He all kinds of things he said about you. Do you feel like he's ever crossed the line?
No. I don't take it personal. He sings always the same song. He's terrified of me wrestling him. Terrified. In every interview he does, he's begging me to stand and bang with him. In every interview, he's like, I'm going to avoid the fight and go on the floor and blah, blah, blah. If you don't know ground, you shouldn't be in MMA. You should be a kickboxer. Go past your blue belt. It's called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It can be sambo. It's fighting on the ground. It's part of the game. So he's terrified. So you want me to be like, okay, I'm going to stand and bang with you like an idiot. I never fought like this. I'm a guy that moves. I have a very big variety of arsenal to hurt my opponent, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use all my tools, not only one tool that I have. But that's a mind game that he's trying to play with me. It's fine.
In the past, he's talked about training with you and how you got the better of him. Do you remember these training sessions, and what were they like?
I don't think I get better at it. Like, I don't like when people say that. When I train with a guy, I'm never gonna go out and talk about the training. Training is training. Sometimes you have a good day, sometimes you have a bad day. I don't remember if I have a better than him or he's got a better than me. When I train with a guy, what happened in the gym, stay in the gym. I'm never gonna. It's like 100 moves. And I don't like when guys talk about that. I think it's lack of respect. There's a rule. You shouldn't talk about this. What happened in the gym, it happened in the gym. We all get out of some kind of our comfort zone. You know, we all get put in situations that we get our ass kicked. I got my ass kicked in the gym all the time. And that's normal. That's why training is for. You know, the more you sweat in the gym, the less you bleed in the fight.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you heard this, George, but I would be remiss if I don't ask you about it. A couple of weeks ago, your mentor, Christophe Midou, did an interview with Patrick Cote, and he had some very critical things to say about you and said he was not happy with the training and didn't want you to come back, wasn't going to go to the fight. And I know he's been a big part of your life. Did you hear this interview? And if so, what did you make of his comments?
No, I didn't hear it, and I heard about it, but I don't know what to say. I mean, Christophe is like my first mentor. He's a guy that I started with, so I see it as a chance for me to prove him wrong. And I don't know why he says these things. I see it as a challenge, as a motivation to prove him wrong. To prove him that, you see, I did it, man. And it's not the first time. A lot of people in my entourage sometimes in the past have said, "Oh, you shouldn't go back." Like even before when I lost to my player and all this, I always proved them wrong. I'm ready to prove them wrong once again. But I don't think he really believes that.
You don't? Are you disappointed to hear this? I mean, to have someone so close to you doubt you publicly like that, does it hurt you? Do you feel let down?
No, because he was there in my last sparring session and he was very happy. He was like, "Oh wow, that was very good." So I don't know why. What did he say? Maybe it was different when he did the interview than what he thinks now. Or maybe he changed his mind, or maybe it's something he doesn't want to tell me. And I mean, he seemed happy now. He was all right. I don't even know where he is. As a matter of fact, right now he's a very mysterious person. He's a friend of mine. He's a mentor. But sometimes I feel like I don't know what he thinks. I don't know what he does. I don't even know where he is right now. I don't even know if he's still in Montreal. He's gone. He was in my apartment, then the stuff are gone now. I don't know. So,
okay.
I don't control these things, and I don't let these things bother me before the fight. I stay focused on the positive and stuff that I can control.
Right. We saw that recently you were training with Jake Shields, who you fought at the Rogers Center in Toronto. What was that like to train with a previous opponent of yours, and why did you bring in Jake Shields?
Man, Jake Shields is amazing. We've been training together for quite a little bit now, and we can both learn from each other and both grow together, training with each other. And yeah, man, it's an honor to be able to train with him. He gave me a lot. I had a lot of help, and he's an amazing fighter. He's an incredible tools. The pressure that he puts on the ground is just unbearable. It's crazy. It is crazy. Like he's very, very good and very specialized at what he does.
Who's going to be in your corner on November 4th, George? Firas Zahabi. Yep.
John Danaher, Jorge Blanco, and Freddie Roach.
Freddie Roach. Wow, that's going to be something else. What a team. You were back in Montreal just a couple of weeks ago at the Bell Center. The ovation was amazing, and I have to admit, I kind of wished in that moment that you were fighting at the Bell Center just because of the love that you received from the people. What was that like for you to return and hear them chanting your name? And did you feel the same way? Did a part of you say, "Oh, I wish I was fighting in front of these people on November 4th"?
Yeah, of course. But maybe in the future, I'll fight in Montreal. You know, we'll see what's going to happen. I can't fight in both places in the same time. So There's a possibility I go and fight in Montreal again. Hope so. We'll see what's going to happen.
George, a lot can happen in 4 years, and a lot has happened in MMA in 4 years with Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor, and there's a lot of new fans. And throughout this sort of build to the fight, I have felt like maybe a lot of the fans currently have forgotten how good you were, or maybe weren't watching when you were the king of the welterweights, when you were on that winning streak. Have you gotten that sense as well, that there's a lot of new fans who maybe don't remember that you were one of the greatest ever and that this is a really big deal that you're coming back? Do you pay attention to these things?
Yes and no. I do not control what people think of me, and if people remember me, what I can control is I'm going to go out there and deliver the best performance that I can do, and the outcome will take care of itself. That's all matters to me, and I truly believe that it's gonna be a special night for me that night, and I can't wait to do that.
Is there an outcome that keeps on coming back in your mind? Is there a result that you think will, come to fruition on November 4th that you're confident will happen?
Yeah, I'm much more opportunist than I was before. I changed a lot of things have changed in 4 years. People say you can't reinvent yourself, but I'm going to prove that you can.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to prove it to everybody.
How do you expect to finish him?
The same. I'm not the same guy that I was when I fought the last time. I have a lot more tools. I'm a lot better in every aspect of the game, and I'm specialized in different things. I have a lot of new tricks that I'm going to bring into the game.
Oh, wow. How do you expect to win the fight? Do you feel confident about one result?
Yeah, I'm going to finish him. That's what I believe. Either knockout or submission.
Wow. What a scene that will be. George, I can't thank you enough. I know you're extremely busy. For you to take out some time really means a lot. Best of luck to you on November 4th. Can't wait to see you in New York next week at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really appreciate the time, and good luck in the last few days of training.
Thank you, Ariel, and thanks to the fans for all the support they gave me through this time. And I'm very happy to be back, and they won't be disappointed.
Can't wait. Thank you, George. All the best.
Take care, man. Bye.
There he is, the one and only George St-Pierre. Says that he has reinvented himself, some new tricks, predicts a finish.